What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Today, I want to focus in on the Florida Panthers acquiring Brandon Pirri from the Blackhawks for a third and fifth round pick. I believe the third is in 2015 and the fifth is in 2016. 2014 third round pick, and then the fifth is in 2016. So I like the move for both sides. Florida gets a young player who's shown he can score at the AHL level. Hasn't really been given a clear chance at the NHL level because of just how deep the Chicago Blackhawks are. They won the Stanley Cup last year. They got a good shot to repeat. So it's tough to crack that lineup, and you can't fault the kid for doing that. They gave him some looks in top 6 minutes, and he didn't put the consistency together to warrant that second line center spot with the Blackhawks. So with Florida gets a fresh start, and Dale Talent keeps acquiring his guys from Chicago. I mean one of his first major moves as GM of the Panthers was acquiring Brian Campbell. They acquired Versteeg. A couple other guys from Chicago, Pecky, and then he flips Versteeg for two guys in Chicago, Olsen and Jimmy Hayes, one of whom he drafted, the other whom he traded for from Toronto in Chicago. So his handprints are all over these guys from Chicago ending up with the Panthers, and I think Pirri still has top six upside. He's only 22 years old. He's not a bad offensive player. Again, I think if he's given consistent top 6 minutes with the Panthers. Is he going to be a franchise-changing player? No, absolutely not. But can he be a NHL role player? I mean, in a pretty decent role, yeah. He's got 11 points in 28 games this season with the Hawks, and then pulling up his AHL numbers right now. But again, these guys, Florida needs organizational scoring, and last year he had 75 points in 76 AHL games. He can get it done. And I remember he played 1 year at RPI before he signed with the Hawks, and was in the AHL at 19. So he's been playing a lot of pro hockey. I mean, he's probably got upwards of 200 and some odd games in the AHL. So in addition to 35 games in the National Hockey League, so there's some experience there. And Chicago, get some draft picks back. So he gets a fresh start. It's kind of like the Peter Holland situation with Toronto and Anaheim, but. We'll see what happens, and this could be a good deal for the Panthers. Could turn out to be just a kind of a AHL only scorer. Is it Krug? No, it wasn't Krug, but the AHL leading scorer for a while, or Chris Borg, and then those are the guys Giroux, those like that. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's talking some sort of the power play with CJ on the Florida Panthers acquiring Brandon Pirri from the Chicago Blackhawks. Stay tuned for more episodes for the season and beyond. Later, guys.